All right, so welcome to our new lesson on composition of functions. So once you watch this video, you'll practice this on Delta Math, just to give you a heads up. But this is how you start. So they're always going to give you two functions. Okay, so this one in this case is called g of x, and this one is called f of x. Okay, so the way that you work through this function right here, what this looks like is it says f of g of 4 is what it's called. So I want to remind you, in like middle school, you had an x and a y, and this right here is basically your input. So our input value is 4, and we're looking to see what the output is. Okay, so how do you do this, right? You're going to start with 4, and you're going to plug it into the function that is closest to it. So in this case right here, you have g of 4. So you're going to plug it into the g function. So g of x is what we're plugging it into. And so it tells us that g of x is equal to 2x. So this is equal to 2x. So in this case, this is going to be 2 times, and our x is 4 here. So 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Okay. So our output is going to be 8. Good. So now you're going to take that 8 and you are going to replace it with g of 4 because that's what it's equal to. So we're going to have 8. I'm going to close my parentheses, and now I'm going to go back to our original problem, right? It says now take, since we did this part already, now we have to take f of 8. Okay, so now we're going to, again, think of another x and y because we now have a new function. We have f. So our f is equal to x plus 3. So I'm going to plug that in, x plus 3. I'll go ahead and do this in blue. And so our new input is 8 because you're going to take the answer from this, and it's going to be our new input for the new function. So 8, and then now you're going to do 8 plus 3, which is equal to 11. So our final answer for this question of f of g of 4 is equal to 11. So our answer is going to be whatever you get from the second one, okay? We're going to do another one just to make sure that you understand this. This is just written a little bit different. This is the examples that you're going to see on Delta Math. This says f of g of 2. So I'm going to take 2 and I'm going to plug it in for my g of x function. So my g of x function is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in 2 wherever I see an x. So I have 2 squared plus 5 times 2 minus 8. So now let me just go ahead and do this. So this is going to be 4 plus 10 is 14 minus 8 is equal to 6. Okay, so this is going to be my new input for the last function, which is f. So what I'm looking for next is I'm looking for f of, right? Here's my new input. So I'm going to look for f of 6. So now I'm going to use my f function, which is right here. So I'm going to do 3 times my input is 6. So 3 times 6 minus 2. 3 times 6 is 18, and 18 minus 2 is equal to 16. So my final answer is 16. Okay. The last type of question that you're going to see is something that looks like this. So f of x is equal to 3x plus 2, g of x, right? We have our two functions. So this says f of g of x. So it's not giving us an x. It's not giving us an input. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our g of x function, and that's going to be the input for our x. So what do I mean by that, right? I'm taking my whole g of x function, which is 5x plus 4, and I'm plugging it in for x. So what does that mean? I'm going to do 3 times, right? This whole thing is x, because that's what I have here. So my new x is 5x plus 4. And I want to see what that's equal to. Okay, we did this in the last lesson. So this is just 3 times 5, which is equal to 15. There's an x there, so 15x. 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So my answer for this is going to be 15x plus 12. Okay, my g of f of x is now I'm going to do the reverse. Okay, so now I'm going to take my f function, because that's the one that's closest. Let's do this in purple. So I'm going to take my f function, which is this right here, and plug it in for that new x. So I'm going to do 5 times, I'm going to replace my x with 3x minus 2, because that's my f function. And I want to evaluate this and see what this is equal to. So when I do that, I'm going to get 15x, and 5 times negative 2 is equal to negative 10. Good. So these are my two answers for my function.